Ignore this warning for just 5 short minutes and your next snack could be your last. Imagine yourself suddenly sprawled helplessly on a cold hospital bed, tangled in IV lines and blinking monitors, desperately gasping for air. Confusion grips you as you struggle to comprehend how something as innocent as that casual handful of nuts you ate mindlessly in front of your TV could plunge you into a life-threatening emergency. Hard to believe this isn't exaggerated fiction. It's a shocking, scientifically documented reality. Specific nuts you mistakenly believe are healthy might be silently eroding your heart's strength, igniting dangerous inflammation, and stealing away your ability to walk confidently across a room. Picture the terrifying moment when climbing a simple flight of stairs leaves you clutching your chest in agony, or when your doctor solemnly informs you that your favorite snack is a ticking time bomb for a devastating heart attack. Today, I'm going to unmask 3 seemingly harmless nuts lurking in your pantry. Right now, nuts you've been falsely assured are heart-healthy, weight-friendly, or bone-building. In reality, these very nuts could sabotage your medications, cripple your bones, and weaken your cardiovascular system irreversibly, especially if you're over 60. But there's hope. I will also reveal 3 incredible nuts that can be your lifeline, empowering you to reclaim mobility, rebuild your strength, and fortify your circulatory system against hidden threats. Stay with me through this gripping presentation because each sentence might be the barrier standing between your vibrant independence and a devastating spiral into frailty. Once you understand the hidden science, you'll know exactly how to stop feeding your body inflammation and pain, and instead harness the secret power of nature's most protective nuts. If you're a senior, whether you're 60, 70, or even 90, the choices you make right now can either shield your health or quietly destroy it. The difference is shocking, and today you'll see it clearly. Transition, a brief composite clinical story. Mary, a retired librarian at 72, always prided herself on following a healthy routine. She loved to snack on peanuts at midday and use cashews to top her salads. She was diligent about attending her checkups. She had no idea that her so-called light bites were quietly working against her. Over time, Mary experienced more frequent knee pain trouble climbing stairs and unexpected aches in her hips. She attributed these issues to just getting older. Then came the alarming moment one evening. She found herself needing to use a walker. An X-ray showed significant bone thinning, and lab tests revealed elevated inflammatory markers. Her doctor questioned her about her diet. When Mary explained her obsession with peanut butter sandwiches and cashew-filled snack mixes, her physician pointed out how specific hidden toxins and anti-nutrient factors can accumulate in older adults. It wasn't just Mary's bones at risk. Her heart was likewise being weighed down by widespread inflammation, and her medication for blood pressure was losing its potency. Thanks to her unsuspected healthy choices, Mary felt betrayed by her everyday snacks. Only then did she realize that certain nuts aren't real nuts at all, and they can harbor mold toxins and other troublesome compounds. Once she was guided to a better alternative, 3 protective nuts that boost circulation, bone health, and mental clarity, her energy rebounded and her gait improved. Mary's story may be fictionalized for privacy, but countless seniors face similar hidden dangers from beloved snacks. That is why I'm bringing these warnings to you today. Think of this as a life raft of knowledge. Grasp it, and you'll sail away from silent traps. Ignore it, and your body may pay the price as the years press on. Science concise, accurate explanation in lay terms. From the viewpoint of nutritional science, certain compounds inside nuts can either help or harm, depending on how your body processes them. A few nut varieties contain mold or mold-based substances called mycotoxins, which can tax the liver and compromise multiple organs in older adults. Some also harbor elevated levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which can tilt your body's delicate balance of healthy to inflammatory fats. Meanwhile, other nuts stand out as remarkable sources of magnesium, vitamin E, and plant-based proteins that can protect the brain, heart, and muscles, inflammation, and aging. As you get older, your cells lose some ability to neutralize harmful free radicals, unstable molecules that contribute to tissue damage. Inflammation then sneaks in more easily, aggravating joint problems, diminishing muscle strength, and taxing your cardiovascular system. Ongoing inflammation is like a smoldering fire in the body. You might not notice it day to day, but it sets the stage for bigger catastrophes, including heart attack or compromised mobility, nutrient malabsorption. Many seniors already face nutrient shortfalls due to a less varied diet or changes in metabolism. If a food contains anti-nutrient factors like oxalates that bind calcium, the result can be further depletion of bone-building minerals. When the skeletal foundation weakens, daily tasks become hazardous. A fall that used to be minor can lead to major fractures, extended hospital stays, and irreversible disability. Drug-nutrient interactions. People over 65 tend to be on multiple prescription medications. Some nuts can intensify or reduce the effectiveness of these drugs, leading to dramatic swings in blood pressure, increased bleeding risk, or complications for those taking statins for cholesterol. Even nuts that seem innocuous, such as pine nuts, may contain compounds that clash with popular prescriptions, something rarely flagged on medication leaflets. By knowing these facts, you can make smart choices and protect yourself from unpredictable drug side effects, good fats versus bad fats. We typically hear about healthy fats in nuts and seeds, but the ratio matters immensely. A large load of omega-6 fats can push your system toward a pro-inflammatory state, especially if your intake of omega-3 is minimal. The best nuts supply beneficial monounsaturated or balanced polyunsaturated fats, while restricting the detrimental overload that fosters inflammation. Knowledge is power. Armed with this background, you'll see how easy it is to tip the scales from a stable, healthy older adult to one at significant risk of heart complications or muscle weakness. This is not about causing panic. It's about showing you the map, the pitfalls to avoid, and the shining pathway that leads to a more robust, mobile, and energetic life. 3 nuts to avoid. We're going to dive deeper into the 3 biggest culprits: peanuts, cashews, and pine nuts. Each one poses a distinct threat to older adults. By the time you finish reading, you'll grasp why continuing to snack on them can set off a chain reaction of hidden damage. Remember, this is not a call to blame yourself, it's a call to action. If you have them in your pantry, it's time to consider removing or at least dramatically reducing their presence. 1. Peanuts, the mold-prone trap. Peanuts are not true tree nuts at all. They are legumes grown in the soil. That environment makes them vulnerable to mold and the toxins that mold species create, particularly aflatoxins. Younger bodies might be more efficient at detoxifying, but seniors have a diminished capacity to flush these toxins out. Over the years, mild exposures can accumulate. According to the World Health Organization WHO 2021 report, chronic low-dose aflatoxin intake can lead to liver stress and amplify certain cancer risks. While these outcomes don't pop up overnight, the subtle damage can snowball. In older adults, that means the immune system might be further compromised, making it tough to fend off infections or recover from routine surgeries. Effects on circulation and muscles. Peanuts contain a substantial quantity of omega-6 fatty acids, which when not balanced by sufficient omega-3s can heighten systemic inflammation. For an older adult struggling with arthritis or muscle weakness, that inflammatory burden can magnify pain and hamper mobility. If you're also on blood thinners, the vitamin K in peanuts can conflict with your prescription, potentially throwing your coagulation levels off balance. That mismatch can lead to either a heightened risk of bleeding or a clot that shouldn't form. Hidden ingredients in commercial peanut products. Most peanut butters sold at the grocery store contain additives, hydrogenated oils, sugar, and loads of salt. Each of those extras intensifies heart-related issues, spiking blood pressure and undermining the arteries. According to a study from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health 2018, Processed Foods and Cardiovascular Health in American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, frequent consumption of overly processed spreads can accelerate cardiovascular decline. Case study number 1, George, 68. A retired factory worker adored peanut butter. He spread it thickly on toast every morning. Over time, his routine medical tests showed rising liver enzymes and borderline hypertension. His physician suspected diet might be aggravating existing vulnerabilities. When George cut down on peanut products, his inflammation markers dropped and his blood pressure steadied. His case underscores that even a seemingly modest intake can fuel hidden problems. 2. Cashews, the calcium thief. Cashews lure us in with their creamy texture. They seem healthy and indulgent at the same time. Yet cashews are high in oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that bind to calcium inside your digestive system. Every time you snack on them in large amounts, you lose an opportunity to absorb one of the minerals, Most crucial for bone integrity. Bone fragility past 60. Many face an accelerated decline in bone density. The older we get, the more likely a broken hip or fracture can lead to long hospital stays, potential infections, and even life-threatening complications. Cashews in moderation may not single-handedly destroy your skeleton, but if you're already at risk for osteopenia or osteoporosis, repeated consumption of oxalate-laden foods can become the tipping point. It's like slow erosion. You might not notice it day to day, but eventually a minor bump or slip can lead to a debilitating break. Blood sugar swings. Cashews contain more carbohydrates compared to many other nuts. That means they're more likely to spark spikes in blood sugar. Among the senior population, prediabetes and type 2 diabetes are common concerns. When your glucose levels fluctuate unpredictably, it strains blood vessels, especially the tiny capillaries in your legs and feet. Chronic high or wildly changing blood sugar can hamper circulation, slow wound healing, and in extreme cases, set the stage for neuropathy and amputations. Kidney stone risk. Oxalate crystals can cause kidney stones, which are not only painful, but can also lead to hospital stays, infections, or permanent kidney function loss. According to Dr. Michael Greger, a physician specializing in clinical nutrition, Nutrition Facts, Org 2019, older individuals with a history of dehydration or kidney issues must be especially watchful about high oxalate foods. Cashews can push them over the edge if consumed frequently. Case study number 2. Rebecca, 74, an amateur painter, loved her cashew-based vegan sauces. She considered them a healthier alternative to cream sauces, but she repeatedly ended up in the ER with kidney stone attacks. Once she removed cashew products from her home cooking, her kidney issues improved significantly, and her bone density scans stopped showing rapid decline. This shift let her return to her painting hobby with fewer disruptions. 3. Pine nuts. The medication menace. Pine nuts might seem exotic and delicate. Added to pesto sprinkled on salads, they look refined. Yet these tiny seeds can wreak disproportionate havoc for seniors on prescription drugs. Compounds in pine nuts can interact with a variety of medications, cholesterol-lowering pills, antidepressants, even blood pressure prescriptions. Unlike more famous interactions like grapefruit juice, pine nuts rarely get mentioned in the literature that comes with your pills. Drug interactions, when you're managing multiple conditions, say hypertension, high cholesterol, and mild depression, your medication regimen must remain consistent. If an unsuspected nutrient causes your blood pressure drug to spike your levels too high or drop them too low, serious events can occur. Arrhythmias, strokes, or clot formation are not exaggerations. They are potential realities when drug absorption is disrupted. The strange pine mouth syndrome. A second lesser-known issue is pine mouth, a temporary condition that leaves you with a bitter or metallic taste. Seniors who experience a bad flavor in everything they eat may end up eating less overall, which spells trouble. Appetite is already precarious for some older adults. Dropping food intake can accelerate muscle loss, fatigue, and nutritional deficiencies. A study in the Journal of Medical Toxicology 2017 noted how sporadic cases of pine mouth can trigger emotional distress and poor dietary habits in susceptible individuals. Oxidation and brain aging. Pine nuts carry high amounts of polyunsaturated fats that oxidize quickly once exposed to air or heat. When you ingest oxidized fats, they can generate cellular damage, including in the brain. For seniors, that can worsen memory decline and further hamper mental clarity. If your medication is also compromised, you get a double whammy that can leave you more vulnerable to age-related cognitive decline. Case study number 3. Martin, 66, taught high school math for 3 decades. He relied on a modest cocktail of medications to manage his cholesterol and mild depression. On a friend's recommendation, Martin began sprinkling pine nuts on his lunch salads almost daily. Within 3 months, his blood tests were out of range, and he complained of persistent metallic taste. Eventually, doctors pieced together the culprit. Stopping pine nuts improved his medication stability and resolved the odd taste. 3 nuts you must eat daily. Time to shine a light on the heroes of our story. Almonds, walnuts, and pistachios aren't just tasty, they actively nurture key systems your body relies on. Where peanuts, cashews, and pine nuts slip up, these 3 deliver protective compounds. Think of them as guardians for your bones, your brain, and your heart. Incorporating them into your diet, always checking with your physician. especially if you have allergies or complex conditions, can transform your overall health trajectory. 1. Almonds, the pillar of bone strength. Almonds are naturally rich in calcium and magnesium, two minerals critical for preserving and fortifying your skeletal structure. As you age, that dynamic duo helps maintain bone density, reducing your risk of debilitating fractures. Almonds offer a nutrient profile beneficial for skeletal health, explains a study from the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, 2019. The more effectively you absorb calcium, the less likely you are to suffer from fragile bones. Muscle nourishment and heart protection. Beyond bones, almonds supply plant-based protein, vitamin E, and monounsaturated fats. These assist in muscle upkeep and help lower LDL bad cholesterol levels. For an older person who desires to keep walking, dancing, or even practicing mild yoga, that synergy is priceless. You need stable muscle fibers and a well-functioning cardiovascular system. Almonds facilitate both gut and brain benefits. Almonds fiber helps keep your digestion regular, preventing constipation that can sap your energy. Additionally, the antioxidants in their skin may bolster cognitive function by preventing oxidative stress in brain tissues. A consistent intake of almond-based nutrients can support focus, mood, and overall clarity. 2 walnuts, the brain and movement protector. Open a walnut, and you might notice it resembles a miniature brain. This is a poetic coincidence, but it hints at walnuts' remarkable capacity to preserve cognitive function. They contain alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3, and polyphenols that can cross the blood-brain barrier, shielding neurons. According to a review from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 20 walnuts' antioxidant content can help slow or minimize mental decline, reducing the risk of conditions like dementia. When your brain is robust, you stay more coordinated, aware of your surroundings, and less prone to missteps that lead to falls. Enhancing circulation and mobility, walnuts can also assist in keeping blood vessels flexible. Improved circulation means muscles receive more oxygen and nutrients. Combining that with a mild exercise routine can enhance your balance and agility. Each day you consume a handful of walnuts is like adding a protective layer against the slow fade of muscle strength. Supporting sleep, walnuts contain natural melatonin. By having a small serving in the evening, you can support smoother transitions to restful sleep, giving your body the chance to repair tissues and reduce inflammation overnight. A rested body is a more resilient one. 3 pistachios. The colorful ally for heart and vision, pistachios come in vibrant shades of green and purple, and they pack a mix of nutrients that many older adults find beneficial for blood pressure and eye health. Potassium is a key mineral they provide. This can help offset the effects of excess sodium, promoting a stable blood pressure range. Keep in mind that if you're on medication for hypertension, you should always review dietary changes with your doctor to avoid sudden blood pressure shifts. Guarding your eyesight, pistachios boast lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids essential for sustaining healthy vision. If you want to reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration, these compounds serve as a natural shield. Maintaining clear eyesight means fewer accidents around the house, greater autonomy in driving if you still drive, and improved quality of life. Boosting hand and jaw strength, pistachios with shells encourage mindful eating and require you to use some force to crack them open. This subtle exercise maintains fine motor skills. Plus, the chewing helps keep your jaw muscles strong, which in turn can support healthy swallowing. These might seem like minor points, but for seniors, every detail that maintains strength and coordination matters. The missing spark, a 7-day checklist for real transformation. What has often been missing from typical advice is a practical, measurable approach, something you can implement starting right now. Below is a 7-day checklist designed for seniors who want to see tangible improvements or at least gauge whether removing certain nuts and adding others can make a difference. Before you begin, check with your physician, especially if you have known allergies or complex health conditions. 1. Day 1, pantry cleanse. Remove or label peanut products, cashews, and pine nuts. If you have large containers of peanut butter, set them aside so you won't be tempted. Jot down any symptoms like joint stiffness or tiredness in a small notebook. You'll compare notes at the end of the week. Day 2, stock up wisely. Shop for almonds, walnuts, and pistachios in moderation, unsalted if possible. Consider purchasing them raw or dry roasted without added oils. Start your morning by replacing your usual nut choice with a small handful of almonds. Day 3, monitor your meds. If you take blood pressure, cholesterol, or other major prescriptions, keep an eye on how you feel. Notice if your energy is more stable or if you experience fewer side effects. Keep track of your water intake. Proper hydration helps flush toxins and also wards off kidney stone formation. Day 4, try a plant protein swap. Replace one serving of meat with a side dish containing walnuts. Perhaps toss them into a salad or oatmeal. Record any changes in energy, mood, or digestion. Day 5, eye health check. Add pistachios to a snack or afternoon treat. Combine them with diced veggies for a colorful dish. Pay attention to your vision during reading or performing tasks that require focus. Day 6, evaluate joint comfort. Compare how your knees or hips feel after moving around for 10-15 minutes. If you typically have swelling or pain, does it feel any better or at least not worse than usual? Day 7, reflect and decide. Pull out your notes from day 1 and see if anything has improved energy, joint comfort, or even daily mood. Decide whether you're committed to continuing the new routine for a longer stretch, 30 days or more. 24-hour challenge. If you're not ready for a full week, try a single day without the danger nuts and with at least 2 small servings of the protective ones. Observe how you feel. Sometimes a short trial reveals surprising changes in energy or digestion. Share your results with friends or family or post them in the comments to keep each other motivated. Action plan, checklist, meal, targets, follow-up. In addition to the 7-day checklist, consider the following simple action plan for the long-term 1 meal target. Aim for 1 to 2 servings, a small handful of almonds, walnuts, or pistachios daily, but rotate them. Variety is key to avoiding nutrient imbalances. Limit or eliminate peanuts, cashews, and pine nuts. If you do consume them, do so rarely and in small portions. Follow-up schedule. At your annual or biannual checkup, discuss with your physician whether your inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein have improved. Request bone density scans if you're at risk for osteoporosis. See if your T-scores or Z-scores stabilize or improve after making these dietary changes. And 3, make meals senior-friendly. If you have trouble chewing, consider softer forms of almonds or walnuts like thin slices or small pieces. For better swallowing, combine ground nuts with applesauce or yogurt. 4, stay hydrated. Drinking enough water each day dilutes potential toxins and supports kidney health. It also helps maintain comfortable digestion as you add more fiber from nuts. Throughout all these steps, always consult your physician. Adjusting your diet can affect how your prescriptions work. Consistent follow-up is crucial for avoiding unwanted side effects or sudden imbalances in electrolytes. Call to comment. Have you ever noticed a subtle sign your daily nut intake was making you weaker or affecting your medication? Have you ever noticed this sign? Comment, I feel it if you relate, I'm safe if not. And add a question for the doctor. Your stories and queries can spark a supportive conversation. Sharing real experiences is how we learn and encourage each other to stay vigilant about senior health. Enhancing virality, anonymized case studies. While we've touched on 3 examples here, are a few more anonymized scenarios that show how crucial it is to pay attention to your snacks. Daniel, 70, retired postman. Daniel prided himself on being active, walking daily, and playing with his grandchildren. He frequently devoured peanut butter sandwiches, believing they were a protein-rich, low-cost option. Over the years, his cholesterol soared, and his liver enzyme tests hinted at strain. Once he ceased eating peanuts and introduced walnuts and almonds, his doctor noticed a drop in unhealthy cholesterol levels during routine exams. Daniel realized that small daily changes could produce meaningful improvements. 2. Sheila, 65, part-time accountant. Sheila believed cashews were the best nut because of their creamy texture. She also had borderline osteoporosis. When her bone density scans deteriorated alarmingly in 1 year, her physician recommended avoiding high oxalate foods, including cashews. Sheila shifted to almonds for calcium and magnesium. A year later, her follow-up scans showed a slower decline in bone density, and she felt more confident tackling daily errands without fear of fractures. 3. Quincy 77 amateur photographer Quincy's medication regimen included a statin and a blood thinner. Pine nuts sprinkled on salads seemed harmless enough. Then an unexpected hospitalization occurred. His blood pressure shot to a dangerous level, and his medication dosage wasn't matching expected readings. After eliminating pine nuts at his doctor's suggestion, his readings stabilized. Quincy's experience highlighted how little we talk about drug-food interactions in everyday life. So, credibility and trust quotes from experts and organizations. One World Health Organization, WHO 2021. Chronic ingestion of mold-based toxins, even at low levels, can produce a cumulative effect on liver function and immune system efficiency in older adults. 2 Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, 2018. Processed Foods and Cardiovascular Health, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Excessive intake of hydrogenated oils and sodium, particularly in nut-based spreads, can exacerbate hypertension and arterial stiffness in seniors. 3 Dr. Michael Greger, 2019, nutritionforseniors. High oxalate foods can be a hidden factor contributing to recurrent kidney stones, particularly in populations over 60 who may already face dehydration or reduced kidney function. These quotes are not about striking fear arbitrarily, but about conveying the gravity of ignoring scientific evidence. When you combine caution with knowledge, you place yourself in the best position to protect your health as the years go by. Turning current, detailed fear-boosting narrative to keep you alert. It's easy to assume that minor aches or slight moments of dizziness are just part of normal aging, but the reality can be far more ominous. Picture standing at your kitchen counter, munching on handfuls of cashews because you think they're healthy, oblivious to the calcium-binding oxalates that quietly drain your bones. Or imagine faithfully taking your heart medication twice a day, not realizing that an unexpected interaction with pine nuts could derail your blood pressure control. By the time these hidden attacks on your system declare themselves, it might be with a sudden fracture of your pelvis or a doctor's urgent words about the risk of stroke. Consider how your day-to-day might be turned upside down, no longer able to walk to the mailbox without a cane, or forced to retire from beloved hobbies because your back pain or labored breathing becomes unbearable. These scenarios might seem extreme until they happen to you. All it takes is the perfect storm of quiet risk factors converging at the wrong moment. As a senior, your margin of error narrows. The body loses some resilience to bounce back from toxins or nutritional imbalances. The lesson: treat every single bite as either an ally or an adversary. The nuts you choose shape how your body defends itself. Are you fueling your muscles and bones with the right minerals, or are you feeding an inflammatory blaze that can intensify arthritis, hamper healing, and undermine your golden years? Staccato warnings for sustained tension. One peanut butter sandwich too many could be nudging your liver toward eventual overload. A love affair with cashews might be quietly paving the road to painful kidney stones or sudden bone fractures. Adding pine nuts to fancy salads might send your blood pressure medicine into chaos, fueling erratic readings that lead to hospital visits. Each warning stands as a reminder that behind familiar flavors can lurk silent sabotage. But let's also alternate that with the hopeful truth: every handful of almonds, every spoonful of walnuts, and every nibble of pistachios can be part of a better path. You have the power to rewire your diet for resilience. Why you must never abandon prescribed care. While some might be tempted to overhaul everything in a frantic push for natural remedies, it's crucial to remember: never abandon your physician's recommendations. If you are on blood thinners, statins, or blood pressure-lowering drugs, you must remain consistent with your regimen unless your doctor adjusts it. Abruptly changing your medication or ignoring it altogether can lead to life-threatening consequences. Think of the best approach as a partnership between you, your healthcare provider, and informed nutritional choices. The goal is synergy, not conflict. The path forward: embrace the protectors, shun the saboteurs. Moving away from peanuts, cashews, and pine nuts doesn't mean living a life deprived of flavor. On the contrary, you're learning to incorporate almonds, walnuts, and pistachios in a way that will likely taste better, feel better, and support your long-term health. By focusing on the best nuts for seniors, you empower your immune system, safeguard your joints, and help your heart beat more efficiently. This principle extends beyond nuts. Once you start paying attention to which foods are truly beneficial, you'll likely discover new ways to optimize your meal plan. Fresh produce, balanced proteins, and whole grains that carry vital nutrients for an aging body. Summarizing the threats and solutions, we ventured into the reasons peanuts, cashews, and pine nuts pose hazards, mold toxins, calcium-robbing oxalates, medication conflicts, and more. Then we discovered how almonds, walnuts, and pistachios can restore balance, deliver essential minerals, and help keep your cognition and circulation in check. Here's a final recap in simple terms. 1. Peanuts can harbor mold-related toxins, amplify inflammation, and disrupt medication for blood clotting. 2. Cashews have oxalates that block calcium absorption, increase kidney stone risks, and cause blood sugar spikes. 3. Pine nuts may disturb prescription drug efficacy, promote oxidation, and cause pine mouth, potentially leading to poor nutrition. On the flip side, 1. Almonds reinforce bones with calcium and magnesium lend protein for muscle health and assist in cholesterol management. 2. Walnuts supply potent antioxidants and essential fatty acids that strengthen brain function and enhance circulation. 3. Pistachios help moderate blood pressure via potassium, safeguard eyesight with carotenoids, and encourage mindful eating. Now, final personal motivation. Remember what's at stake. Your independence, your ability to see your grandkids grow, to stroll through a park without a walker, to remember birthdays without a fuzzy mind. These are the real prizes you stand to protect. None of us can beat the clock, but we can resist the unnecessary acceleration of physical decline. Making the swap from harmful nuts to protective ones is a small step in the grand scheme, but it can carry an enormous ripple effect. 7-day challenge, share with friends. Encourage your loved ones or community group to join you in a 7-day senior nut challenge. Compare notes, trade recipes like almond-crusted fish or walnut oatmeal, and keep each other accountable. Social support strengthens good habits. At the end of the week, reconvene online or in person and discuss who noticed the greatest changes. Did someone see a drop in swelling, a calmer stomach? Better sleep or clearer thinking? This communal aspect is what transforms short-lived attempts into lasting lifestyle changes. To Nawalanod. Reminder, always consult your physician. Health is a team effort. While I aim to inform and alert you, I am not a substitute for your healthcare provider. If you're on specialized diets like low potassium for kidney disease, or you have severe allergies, make sure you thoroughly discuss with a medical professional before overhauling your pantry. The worst-case scenario is ignoring drug interactions or complicated health factors that your doctor or pharmacist is well-equipped to address. Conclusion 3, rapid-fire bullet points. Invitation to engage. Let's drive the message home in 3 quick hits. Avoid the traps. Steer clear of peanuts, cashews, and pine nuts that compromise your bones, medication balance, and overall vitality. Embrace the protectors. Integrate almonds, walnuts, and pistachios for stronger bones. Improve circulation and sharper memory. Check your progress. Use a 7-day or 24-hour challenge to spot differences in energy, joint comfort, and mental focus. If you found value in this discussion, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who needs to hear these warnings. And don't forget to share your own experiences in the comments. Your voice can spark meaningful change for another senior who might be on the brink of making life-saving dietary adjustments. Final open question. What is the single biggest barrier you face when trying to improve your diet, and how have you tried to overcome it? Let's get that conversation rolling.